Hello and welcome everyone, I'm Madals and today I have got game number 1 of a best of 1. It's a bit of PvP action coming up and it is between two cool players. Now, anyone who tuned into my cast yesterday may have heard my voice wasn't quite right. Hopefully it's a bit better today, or at least it's coming over a little bit smoother, but it's still not 100%, but I don't want to miss a game unless I absolutely have to, so I apologize if it sounds too bad. Anyway, up in the top right position, spawning as the red Protoss player, he represents Team Evil Geniuses. It is HuK. And his opponent down in the bottom left, the blue Protoss player, currently teamless as far as I'm aware, it is KoNtiNuE. With some awesome capitalization in his name, I've got to say, that makes that name look pretty damn swish. So, PvP on Neoplanet could be rather quick, because Blink plays really effective, quite a large amount of cliff area you can utilize, DT plays work nicely, Stargate plays, even if they're not proxy, can be nice because there's this dead cliff area here where you can just come in, deal some damage, you can escape out here, come over the cliff, get into the natural, all different avenues of attack, all of which very, very strong. So, this should be a pretty cool game. I'm looking forward to it. Currently these two players are opening very similar builds, at least for the time being, both getting their gateways down, nothing too crazy on either side yet, but of course it is early days. Crazy things can and I'm sure will happen at some point. First gas getting taken first by KoNtiNuE, so he's getting that down. It's later than HuK. HuK, probably considering that he's delaying it, gonna get maybe 2 gas down at once, and then it's just a big tell of whether he's gonna put 2 probes in each or 3 probes in each. That makes the huge difference to how things will get going down. But yeah, as it stands, we do have just a single gas here from KoNtiNuE. That should have 3 probes. There we go. He's following that up with a cybernetics core. Meanwhile, over at HuK's side, 2 gases as expected, but this is the question. Will it be 2 probes or 3 in each gas geyser? 2 in the top. Are we going to get 2 in the bottom? Yes, I believe we will. That one's going to come back. Yep, so yeah. 4 probes up against 3. Slightly, therefore, higher gas income for HuK, but only by a fractional amount, but it's enough to mean that he can get his mothership core. Ooh, he's actually now gone up to 3 in each. Okay, so this now means that he's probably going for a really tech-heavy build. It could just be a couple of sentries and the mothership core, but it could also be just a quick rush into, say, Dark Templar or something along those lines. So we've got to keep an eye out for what is going to be coming out there. Cybercore Chrono boosting our Warp Gate tech. The Zealot wasn't skipped, interestingly, from KoNtiNuE, but it was skipped, or it could still be skipped by HuK. It's slightly later, if nothing else, by quite a chunk. But there we go. It has been cancelled now. He hasn't seen any aggression come in. Starts up the Stalker. Chrono boosting out the Mothership Core at the moment, whereas KoNtiNuE Chrono boosting out the Warp Gate tech. Because of that, well, I'm really thinking that this could be some kind of gateway play. It could be 3 gates. Could even be 4 gates, although that's less common. HuK still just sitting on that single gateway, getting a Stalker out. The Mothership Core is now there. The rest of the gas not yet being spent anyone. HuK's already up to about 125, so we'll be interested to see where he spends that. And he's queuing up a sentry, so going to be playing this defensively for the moment. But, ooh, probe getting pulled. 2 additional gateways on their way out here for KoNtiNuE, so he is going to be applying a bit of 3-gate pressure. But interestingly, no Mothership Core with this composition, so that means HuK, if he pulls this back, will be able to photon overcharge. He's going to have enough gas energy for it, but he's going so far out with the Mothership Core, checking for the proxy, but now sees with that Stalker. Hang on, something's not quite looking right there. KoNtiNuE throwing down a pylon on the low ground. HuK immediately starting up 2 additional gateways in order to try and defend this, but yeah, this really now not looking too good for KoNtiNuE. For HuK rather. He's only got 1 gate's worth of production, and the unit count is in favour. Oh, a force field there, not quite managing to trap the Zealot. That would have been so important if it had gone down. HuK chucking down some more pylons, but KoNtiNuE getting 2 up on the high ground. The Mothership Core, 4 energy now off enough to cast Photon Overcharge, and that could be absolutely essential in order to help hold off some of this aggression. A couple more Stalkers in the mix. Warp Gate tech isn't done, remember, yet for HuK, so he's going to have to trigger that Photon Overcharge. Does have a Stalker behind the Zealot. Gonna die for KoNtiNuE, but he keeps all of his Stalkers up, and these really are what are important. 5-2 at the moment. HuK needs to be so careful. He needs to use this Photon Overcharge to buy some time. Get this 4th gate up. Remember, if we look back at the moment at KoNtiNuE's pace, he's still just getting 3 gates worth of production, chrono boosting it like mad, trying to get as many Stalkers out as humanly possible. He's continuing on the pain, the Photon Overcharge, still forcing these units back, but KoNtiNuE just trying to deal as much as possible. And HuK cancels that 4th gateway, feeling like he's going to be able to hold it, but has he underestimated just how heavily KoNtiNuE's committing to this? He's got 3 Zealots and 7 Stalkers up against 4 Stalkers and 1 Sentry of HuK. That's a massive numbers advantage, and Photon Overcharge has now really gone completely. There's not enough energy on the Mothership Core for another one. It's only at 60 of 100, so that would take quite a while to get back up. Force fields are being triggered. HuK needs to be very careful with that Mothership Core. He needs as much energy as possible. HuK just with good control, staying back, but pylons are going to go down, and that very nearly supply blocks HuK. If he loses the second one, he'll get quite heavily supply blocked, and he does. He depowers one of those gateways, and that simply means that HuK now, well, he's only got 3 gates worth of production, and he can't even make anything because he's at 38 of 34 supply. Until he gets these additional pylons up, he is going to be in problems, and KoNtiNuE going to focus down this pylon. It's forced to cancel, and that means even when this pylon is finished, HuK is only going to have, I believe, a couple of supply free, which is not ideal for him. This Photon Overcharge is nearly ready to be cast again. 94 energy of 100 needed, but the Cybercore now getting focused. If KoNtiNuE can take this down, it will be absolutely huge, because suddenly that means no more Stalkers, no more Sentries, and that would not be good news in the slightest for HuK. So HuK is going to lose that Cybercore. Suddenly no more Stalkers, no more Sentries. It's Zealot only in the Stalker count. If we take a look at this, KoNtiNuE 7 to 4. He's still got the Zealot out, has now just gone down. Photon Overcharge dealing some nice damage. The Force Field trying to trap these Stalkers, but one gets away with just 1 HP. Incredibly close. And now we can see, of course, that the damage is being done. Stalker gets taken down. The next Stalker trying to get focused. HuK is definitely in a perilous position at the moment, desperately trying to remake that Cybernetics core to get out some more Stalkers, but as we see, KoNtiNuE now 22 to 12 army supply. HuK still up in the work account though, so maybe he has a chance. He's got that 4th gate worth of production, but the fact that he can only make Zealots at the moment isn't helping. Photon Overcharge has now worn off, and that means that KoNtiNuE going to start pushing forward. He's going to try and deal a little bit of damage to this gateway. He should be able to take it down, and boom it goes. Suddenly their production equals. The Cybercore is now back up. A Sentry getting thrown out, but we can see the Zealots charging forward here for KoNtiNuE, up against nothing really for HuK, and this is not looking good for the EG player, trying to zone out some of these Stalkers with some good force fields, but to be honest with you, I think this now could end up being GG, and there we go from HuK. In the speech marks as well, clearly not too happy. But yes, that was the game. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like the video, leave a cool comment, and of course subscribe. And I hope to see each and every one of you tomorrow for yet another new cast where hopefully my voice will be a little bit better. Bye for now.